Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mastery Series. As some of you know, and the rest of you are about to find out, for over the course of the next couple of months, I will be mastering Dragon Link. And by mastering, I mean I can play the Punk engine in any scenario under any hand trap because I've played it so much that now I understand exactly how it works. Like I'm going to hammer this deck into my brain until I can't think of anything without thinking, oh, that would be good for Dragon Link, right? Um, I have prepared a deck list for you guys. It's 50 cards and some extra cards, but we'll get on into that in here in just a second. Just so you know my starting point, the reason I chose to go with 50 cards is because I will be narrowing it down. I think 50 cards is a good place to be like, this was useful, this was not, without being like, I have 60 cards double sleeved and I have a tower over here. You know what I mean? So without further ado, I'll go ahead and start showing you the deck list. So I've separated all of the deck into different engines. That's kind of how I'm going to go over to make sure that you guys don't lose any of the information. But I guess I should stop stalling and just get into it. So first we're going to start with the main thing that makes this a D-Link deck. This is going to be basically like the Dragon Link engine is what I would call it, because there's a couple of different engines mixed together, but without this, it's not really D-Link, right? We start with one Tracer. The reason I'm going with one Tracer is because in 50 cards, I don't need to draw this. I actually want to search this. This is the one that I want to search if I even want to get into it. And also, for those of you who don't know, today the ban list takes into effect. So I don't have Borreload Savage. I won't have Baron de Fleur. So Rocket Tracer kind of has become less important than any of the other dragons. And with one Tracer comes one Recharger, one Caliber. Again, they're not super important to the deck anymore now that Borreload is banned. So I just want one of each, and if I draw into them, cool. I can recycle them with different types of cards. One Absa Router. Absa Router is the thing that searches your Tracer, so you definitely need one of White Dragon and one of Black Dragon. This is the other sort of engine that's in here, the Chaos engine. You can't play more than one of because they're both limited to one, but you definitely want these two because starting with either one of them is full D-Link combo. 3 Quick Launch. Even though you don't necessarily want to see the rocket engine in your hand, if you start with a quick launch then and a single Bestial, it's already Dispatter. Like that's what you want, right? You want to end up with Dispatter because that's a big part of your end board. One Ravine, one Boot Sector Launch, and one Chaos Space. This one has to be at a 1 of, but you don't want to see these two in your opening hand. The Dragon Ravine will send a dragon from your hand to send a dragon from the deck, and that's really useful to get Absa Router in the graveyard. Boot Sector will special summon up to 2 rockets, and that's why you want Absa Router in the graveyard, is to search the Tracer. And then Chaos Space is really cool because it's a put back and draw 1, but also it's a free other dragon, right? So if you start with, say, Star Liege, then that's a free Magnum Hut. Next, we'll go ahead and go into the Bestial engine and why I have the ratios that I have. The Bestial engine is really standard for the way that I play it. I've always played it like this. I do 3 Lubellion. If you can't tell, this one's in Spanish. That's one of my favorite new pickups, is Spanish Lubellion, El Lubellion Bestial. I love Spanish cards. The reason you play him at a 3 of is because he's the searcher, the starter for the whole engine. You don't necessarily want him to be the only Bestial in your hand, but if he is the only Bestial in your hand, you can make do. Next, we've got one Serenir, one Druid Swarm, one Magnum Hut. Magnum Hut, they need to unlimit Magnum Hut or unlimit Chaos Space. Like genuinely, if I'm to actually do any work with this deck, it's gonna be miserable without those two. But only 1 ofs, because for now anyway. I do play one of these in the side, but only 1 ofs for now because again I'm trying to learn exactly how the deck works. And then 1 Regained and 1 Beast. Beast is really good with your Assault Synchron because you contribute your Dispatter to pop something, and then with Assault Synchron you can banish him to bring it back. But we'll get into that here in a second, because next we're going into all of the tech cards that I play for this deck. For the next tech cards, we're going to start with the Red Eyes cards. I play 3 Red Eyes, or 3 of the Black Metal Dragons. This will search you any Red Eyes card, and it's not once per turn. So seeing this is like it's a godsend, genuinely. The first time you send it to the graveyard, you search for Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. The reason for that is because this one will banish a card to banish the Striker Dragon that you summoned with this to special itself, special this back, and then recycle it for another search. Your second search is going to be Meteor Dragon. You want Meteor Dragon in the graveyard. You want Meteor Dragon to be able to send your Lubellion to the graveyard. That way you contribute this to special the Lubellion, or if you have Assault Synchron, you use Assault Synchron to get into Assault Synchron, and then you use Assault Synchron to bring back Assault Synchron, you synchro into Dispatter, and then you tribute the Lubellion, or you tribute the Dispatter for the Lubellion and special the Lubellion back with the Assault Synchron. So again, this whole thing ends up being really useful, and I decided to play this way, like this morning at 1 o'clock in the morning. So we'll just see how that ends up, right? 3 copies of Starliege. I'm still not sure that I want to play Starliege at all, and everybody who heard me say that, who's played D-Link before, is like rolling over, but I'm not sold on it. 2 copies of Assault Synchron. I've basically gone over every single reason why you want to play Assault Synchron by now. Very good card. I don't want to play it at a 3 of though, because I do want to see it in my hand, but I don't need multiple copies of it in my hand. And then 2 Noctivision Dragon. Same thing. Noctivision Dragon is it's like not an interruption, but because it's an if, it doesn't ever miss timing, and getting a 2800 defense body on the board is never a bad thing, right? 2 copies of Duality. This is my secret spice that I have. Well, this is part of my secret spice that I've come up with to get over the fact that we got hit super hard on the ban list right after I decided that I was going to be playing this. and I'm a man of my word. I let the people vote, and they voted D-Link, so that's what we're doing. So Duality is usually a target to tribute Dispatter if I haven't tributed him already. I'll show you in the extra deck what I get out with him later. And then, of course, Shadow's Light will serve the same thing minus the draw, right? This will get you a free extra special summon of a dark or a light monster, so that's kind of nice, but mostly want to use it for its ability to get you a free big bodied monster. That'll do it for the tech. Next up is the hand traps. The hand traps, we're playing the standard Josie array, nothing out of 3 of. Well, a couple things out of 3 of, I guess, but nothing that everybody wants me to play out of 3 of. We're playing 2 Ash, best hand trap in the game, 2 Nib, one of the most impactful hand traps in the game, 2 Imperm, not once per turn, so it's the only one that I would play out of 3 of, 2 Droll, those are just cross out targets, 2 cross out, those are to target Droll and Nibiru. Make sure I don't get hit with those 2. 2 Sales Ban. This is something that I came up with because I won't have an Omni Negate. I have to have a way to play around Nibiru, and Sales Ban, I won't use Nibiru if I'm going first, so Sales Ban isn't going to be a bad thing, right? Definitely something that I could side out also, so kind of hoping that this tech really helps me out today. And then 2 Super Polymerizations. Easily the best card in the meta that will never get hit. Super Polymerization is crazy good. I can't believe that this is not banned, and so I'm playing 2 or 3 depending on this next part. So I will go ahead and start showing you the extra deck and going over what I have come up with. Playing this if you're playing D-Link. 1 Delingers Dragon. This is literally only for the arrow. That's the only purpose that this serves. I can't imagine using the second function for it, so I'm just doing this for the arrow, so that Pisty has 2 arrows that it points to. 1 Hieratic Seal. This card can be kind of busted. I'm excited to see what it does for me today. I can't really wait. 1 Triple Burst. It's an Omni Negate, and I was just using it for the arrow, and that's kind of messed up, which is why I snuck in Delingerous. That way I don't have to use Triple Burst to get Hieratic Seal. 1 Borderland Dragon. That's your big boss monster, and 1 SP Little Knight. Those are my Link monsters. I know you're wondering why I'm not playing SP. I was told not to play it by one of the best players in my store, and I genuinely trust his opinion. I wouldn't be playing. I would have IP right here if I didn't trust him. Next, thanks to the ban list, we only have 3 synchros. The synchro part got kind of small. And you're like, but wait, what are you doing with the rest of the extra deck? Well, you'll find out here in a sec. So we've got 1 Nacelle, 1 Chaos Angel, and 1 Dispatter. The reason that I wanted to do Chaos Angel instead of Changing today, I am citing Changing, but the reason that I went with Chaos Angel is because while I was playtesting, I realized that he can banish anything, and so if I haven't used Branded Regained yet, that's a good point to draw one, right? So I'm going with this one. He'll end up protecting my Dispatter if I ever get him out, so that's what we're going with. Now, Dispatter. Pay attention, right? 10, Dark, Dragon. Duality target, Dragon Maid Shu. 10, Light, Dragon, right? This is a fun way to get an Omni Negate out, but I don't have the other card that I need. I should be getting that later. So IP Masquerena will be holding the place for House Dragon Maid. Shu will put itself back into the extra deck and special summon out House during the end phase. This is super important because I need an Omni Negate so bad now that I don't have the 2 that were in my list, right? So Dragon Maid Shu, House Dragon Maid, that's what I'm shooting for to replace those 2. And then just more super poly targets, Mud Dragon and Garura. Garura is always handy because it helps you draw. Mud Dragon is a target avoider, so let's hope that today this goes great. If I don't end up getting the House Dragon Maid in time, I have prepared something different. Instead of Shu and instead of House, I will be playing another copy of Super Polymerization. I'll be playing Buster Dragon and 5-Headed Dragon. I haven't played a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where there haven't been 5 monsters on the field in so long that there's no way that if I get Buster Dragon on the field and I have Super Poly in my hand, that I can't just Super Poly them away and finish their turn by getting out 5-Headed Dragon. Also, I've never been able to play this card and I've had it for so long, so I definitely wanted to. But that is it for the deck list today. Thank you guys for watching. After today's tournament, I'll go over how I did. I'll probably do that from my house though, because it's really weird for me recording inside of store. So I will catch you guys probably at the end of this. Maybe I'll make a second video explaining just how I decided to do things different and how the tournament went and why I decided to do things different. Thanks, guys.